I am here at the Yacht Haven Marina in Wilmington, California, having just purchased my first 36-foot Marina slippable sailboat, getting ready at roughly 3 a.m., about 4 a.m., to head on out on our maiden voyage from Wilmington to Ventura on this lovely ship. We left at 4:30. There goes Yacht Haven Marina. 4:30 in the morning, Wilmington, aboard a Moody 36. August 1st, 2015. My first maiden voyage. Heading through the main channel in the Long Beach Harbor, I guess San Pedro Harbor, Los Angeles Harbor, whatever you call it. All aboard are 3 adult males heading to Ventura, California. The train, if you're living down here in Wilmington, you hear every 15 minutes, all day and all night. They were actually loading boxes not too long ago. There goes the harbor. Ready with our radio. Coffee in the morning. All good sailors need to stoutfully wake up with a good cup of black brew. Firehouse. Right now, 5.5 knots speed.
Yeah.
Is that what your phone says?
5.6, 5.7.
Okay, so it is pretty accurate.
No. Is that mine or his?
That's his. Oh, over here, there's 2 pirate ships, one sitting and one sunken. And an old, like, 20s yacht. Don't know if you can see that at night, but that's it's either a collector of old boats, a movie prop set, or a derelict yard. But it's neat. Not only is this the first time that I've taken this particular boat out, but it'll also be the longest trip that I will have ever taken on one of my own boats. Don't worry though, I've sailed longer plenty of times, just on other people's boats. We had all of the proper safety equipment and stuff for this particular boat. We had a horseshoe life throw ring, we had air horns, 2 fire extinguishers, ship's bell, first aid kit, a signal light, flares, 2 VHF radios, 3 GPSs. Unfortunately, the radios, we found out later, didn't end up being able to send any of the radio communications that we tried, but we could receive everything that was being heard or said around us. We also had an inflatable life raft. fueled the boat up the night before. We added about 20 gallons to top off the 60-gallon tank that the boat has. I wanted to be sure that we could make it all the way up without running out of fuel. Passing a huge shipping ship being pushed by a tug. Now the tug has a lot of lights, but that thing,
Oil tanker.
it's enormous. And very little visible light at night up forward. In the back it's lit up like a Christmas tree. I guess if we see a little light in front of a whole lot of lights way behind it, we know there's a big ship in the middle. Oh, he's slowing them down. What a cool job. I had tried to research how many hours a 35 horsepower diesel 1981 Thornycroft marine engine would get, but nothing seemed to line up. I got a couple different answers. One said 2 gallons an hour were used, and then another said, don't worry, it'll only sip diesel. You'll be fine. It won't take much at all. There's something in the water right there. And right there.
French.
Yeah. That's the Iowa. It is too dark for video. I wanted to make sure that we had plenty of fuel, so of course I topped it off. I could not seem to get a consensus on how far the Ventura Harbor is from Wilmington either. I looked up online quite a few different places. I tried adding things up, and after everything I could come up with, including my own additions of the mileage on the charts, I came to about 80 to 90 miles. So we planned for a very, very long day. I was hoping to travel at 5 to 6 knots. Luckily, the trip only ended up being a total of 70 miles, and we made it in much better time. We were going between 6 and 7 knots. Whoops.
Watch where you're going, man.
So we ended up getting to the marina in Ventura sometime around 3:30 instead of the 8, 9, 10 p.m. that I was thinking we were going to end up getting there. We had to motor the whole way, partly because there was no wind for the first 3/4 of the trip, and partly because we didn't want to be stuck out at sea late at night, again not knowing exactly how far we were going. And not knowing exactly how long it was going to take, we had limited sleep from the night before, so we figured we would try and get there as fast as possible. I also had 2 crew members who were fairly sick for the first 3/4 of the trip. So that was tough, and I wanted to get them out of their uncomfortable predicament as soon as possible, as well as get the boat berthed as soon as possible. One of the things that I definitely wanted to keep an eye on and looked at every probably half hour, 45 minutes was the engine itself. Upon the engine survey, I found that the water pump, the raw water pump, was leaking. It wasn't leaking from any specific spot that was going to stop the boat from being able to move, but it was leaking enough, and from an area, the water pump, that is vital to the boat. If the water pump were to go out, we would have an overheated engine and either have to sail or be towed in. And so I kept a very close eye on the water pump throughout the entire trip, and luckily it never got worse, but it did leak right around a gallon an hour into the bilge. And so every hour I pumped the bilge pump and made sure that I got rid of the water as best I could, but I just threw in the video and the pictures of the water pump just to give you an idea of what all we were looking for as we were doing our log entries and hourly checks. We came to a conclusion that the lack of airflow through the cockpit, which was caused by the Dodger, normally a good thing, might have contributed to the seasickness. We opened the middle flap on the Dodger to allow a breeze through, and shortly after that, that's when the crew started to feel a little better. The whole trip was overcast most of the day until we got right around the last tip up towards Ventura, just before Oxnard, where the military base is. That's when the sun came out, and the seas were not too big at all throughout the entire trip. We were going, like I said, between 6 and 7 knots. The throttle was at 2,300 RPM, so about 3/4 throttle the whole time. And we ticked off about a mile every 10 minutes.
Which is considered
All said and done, we used a total of the 20 gallons that we added to the tank. Much better than I feared. By 2 gallons an hour, we only used about a half a gallon, a little over half a gallon an hour. Traveled a total of 70 miles and did so in exactly 11 hours, from 4:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And I am so thankful that we arrived in Ventura at 3:30 because the marina office was still open. There's a picture at the end here that you're going to see where my boat did not fit into its slip. And so I had to actually be reparked into a temporary slip until another week or 2 from now in order to get my boat into its full-time home. The slip that I was supposed to get turned out to be 1.5 feet too small, and it gave me 3 inches exactly on either side of the boat. I did get the boat in the slip, but it was not a comfortable, not a safe fit for my boat itself. So gotta wait a little while longer before I find the new slip. I just wanted to let you guys know how this particular trip went, and hope that you'll follow me in future videos as I video the sails and video the repairs that take place on this boat. This is Forget Me Nots.